2, 1. Hello, Internet peeps, and welcome to another edition of Big Trouble in Little Podcast, episode 110. I am Joe Dubs.
I am Andy.
I'm Zach.
And we are back again here on this grateful Tuesday. Tomorrow is hump day. Can't wait to get past this week because work sucks. Hello, work. You suck dick. But anyway, we're going to be talking about You Only Live Twice, which I wrote so many times on the show, on the graphics and stuff. You only live once, and that's a totally different movie.
I mean, that's the common saying is, "Well, you only live once."
Mm-hmm.
That's the platitude. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the saying, and that's why this title was a play off of that.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about more Sean Connery, which we're almost done. But we have like 2 more movies, Diamonds Are Forever, and we're going to do that.
Never say never again.
Yes. And which pretty much means which Andy said, just another Thunderball movie.
We'll see.
It's based on Thunderball, but there's deviations, and it's weird too. Might as well get this out of the way now. A lot of people will realize this, but by watching them this way, not only is that one inconsequential to the actual order of the movies, but we're going to skip a movie chronologically, which kind of matters because at this point they're finally starting to be like, oh, Spectre's the main bad guy, and we finally know what Blofeld looks like. He looks like Donald Pleasance, and so they're trying to do a thing. And in the next movie, it's Lazenby, but then after that they go back to Connery for one movie. So I guess we're skipping that movie. So it's going to be weird Bond movie timeline wise, but it barely matters. It's worth bringing up. It's worth just saying.
Well, that's why it's called a Sean Connery ranking. That's how we do things here on the Big Trouble Little Podcast. But before we get into James Bond, guys, what the hell you been watching, playing, or doing? I'll start off with myself this time. So I finally beat Hell House. Yay! Done. I'm up to the part where
This is Final Fantasy Remake, by the way, for people who don't know.
Yeah. I did the cross-dresser cloud thing. I thought that was hilarious.
I love that whole part of the game. It's hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
Did you dance on stage yet?
The what?
Did you dance on stage?
Yeah. I passed that already.
That's one of my favorite parts of the whole fucking game. It's hilarious.
I have to admit, the Ghost Train section is probably my favorite part so far.
Spooky Ghost Train. We should save this. I think we'll probably just blow out Final Fantasy once you beat it and talk all about it.
Yep. And I beat Last of Us Part 2. I'll say this without spoiling because Andy's going to be, once we start our new project, I bet you that's going to be one of the games that's going to be on his list. I'll say this. My ranking right now, because I want to play it through it, certain parts, I don't want to play the whole thing again. But I give it a 7 out of 10. It does not deserve the 10 out of 10. And I'm not being mean like the internet is and sending Laura Bailey fucking death threats because she played Abby. That is stupid.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
Yeah, that is stupid. Abby is a bad character. The person who plays the character is really, really great voice actress. But the story is written badly. I kind of want to... I want to rewrite Last of Us Part 2, and I think I'm going to make that a project of mine to pretty much explain what the story should be, and I will actually take the game scene and put it into my story. I'll edit it somehow. So that's my goal. But it's the same opinion like last time. Gameplay is great. Story is not. So 7 out of 10 from me. I've been watching a lot of David Lynch directing the 3rd season of Twin Peaks. And it's just
You've been watching Twin Peaks, or you've been watching like behind the scenes stuff?
Behind the scenes, where it's just a camera following David Lynch throughout the whole set.
Okay.
And there's a part where he's with a character, and he's like, "I want you to see like you have a really long neck," and the actress is like doing this, and it's hilarious. And then he talks about He's like, I need more mud. Give me more mud. Gets really angry. And he's smoking a lot, which is,
No surprise.
yeah.
No.
So I recommend it. I'll actually link you, you two, those videos I watch. It was interesting to see. I'm almost done with the Netflix season 3 of Dark. I have 2 more episodes, and that is the series finale. It is really good. It's probably one of my favorite written time travel TV shows ever. Because how they fucking construct that. Because writing time travel is hard. I think the only thing that like successfully done it was Back to the Future. What else did I do? I think that's it. Been playing a lot more games than actually watching stuff, which is surprising to our fans and probably Andy. But I guess we'll move to Andy. What about you? What the hell you been playing, watching, or doing?
I'm still playing Animal Crossing once in a while. I'm playing Ring Fit when I can get around to it. Part of me is scared of that game now because I know it's going to make me sore. I got really lucky this week, and a coworker was moving and found a bunch of old video games and was going to give them to me, but I had to pay them because one of them was Run Saber, which is a pretty rare and expensive Super Nintendo game, and I've been playing that, and it is fun, but it is hard. It's if anyone's ever played Strider on the Sega Genesis, it's very similar to that. It was made by Atlas. It's a side-scrolling sword game. It's bizarre. I beat Tetris Effect. It was a real trip. That game's great. I mean, it's Tetris. What do you expect? But to get the headset on and have earphones on, it's a real experience. But what I really wanted to talk about was this is something I would have never expected for myself, but on a weird whim, now that it's on Disney Plus, I watched Hamilton. It's extremely good. It's so catchy. I can't fucking stand it. All the songs got stuck in my head right away. Plus it's just an interesting, because that's always been my problem with Broadway musicals. It's a bunch of stuff. I don't care about a bunch of cats. I don't care about other one. I can't think of any other examples because I don't know Broadway stuff that much.
What is Hamilton about?
It's about Alexander Hamilton. It's inspired by a book that is just about his life, and it's about a bunch of stuff historians kind of gloss over a lot. He was involved in the Revolutionary War, and by extension, it's a bunch of other Revolutionary War people, and declaring independence and the war for independence here. And then his later life, and when he founded the banking system, and there was a scandal that got him kicked out of politics, sort of. And then he famously was killed in a duel by Aaron Burr, a guy who had just lost a run for presidency. Like that, it's weird to think about, but what if well, I guess it's not that weird to think about someone who didn't win the presidency killing someone in modern day. But I don't know, it's really good. It's 2.5 hours, which is a little rough, and it is just music. I can watch something like Singing in the Rain or La La Land or something like that because it's music and there's plot around it. But there's still plot. When they're singing, it's still this is what's going on. This is the story, and it's not all what you would typically think of as a Broadway musical. There's rapping and really quick speaking and really impressive. There's
rapping.
Yeah, there's rapping.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's I lack the proper vocabulary to praise that. It is a movie, but it's it's a Broadway musical. It's extremely good. And the song, I've been listening to the songs just when I'm eating breakfast and stuff because they're really catchy.
I'm gonna have to check it out, but I'm doing the thing where when everybody's talking about it and being like Hamilton, 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 I'm like, you guys are talking about it way too much. I'll wait until everybody stops talking about it, then I'll watch.
Now Hamilton's hype period already ended, basically.
Yeah, more or less. It just got put on Disney Plus, so it kind of got another a blip because a lot of people are getting to see it for the first time now, including myself.
People
But
were going ape shit for Hamilton like 2 years ago.
I guess it broke some record. It won more Tonys than any other Broadway musical or something. Like again, that's not a world I'm much aware of, and I watched this on a whim, but I'm super glad it did. Man, it's so catchy. I really, really, really liked it.
Other than that, what else you been doing? That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, the highlights of my week were getting those games and playing Run Saber and watching Hamilton. Like I said, it's just really long. Well, it's not really long. 2.5 hours ain't that bad. I also I played a bunch of games for very short bursts because I repaired 2 Dreamcasts and I put new save batteries in 4 games and I had to test a bunch of shit. So I played like Sonic Adventure for 15 minutes. I played Super Mario World for 15 minutes. I played, stuff like that.
So you said 2.5 hours. So I'm comparing it to Peter Jackson's King Kong. Let me see what the runtime on that is.
That movie was like 2 hours 45, wasn't it?
3 hours and 7 minutes. Holy
Was it that long?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Fuck that.
Jesus.
I only ever saw that movie once. Why that movie? Is that your go-to long movie?
I went to that movie with my grandpa, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna treat you to King Kong," and he fell asleep because King Kong is his favorite thing, and my ass was numb at the end of this movie, and I was like, "Why is this movie so long? It does not need to be this long. It's just Peter Jackson going, look at this landscape, look at this."
I'm pretty sure I watched that movie in two sit-downs, if I recall properly.
Mm-hmm. All right, Zach. What about you? What have you been up to, playing or doing?
Same stuff basically. But still been chipping away at Command and Conquer. I'm doing the GEI campaign now in the original game. I think I'm a little over halfway through it. Then I'm going to move to Red Alert when that's done.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
Red Alert's the one I've always wanted to try.
Red Alert's great. To me, it's like the best one that they made, I think. And I'm still reading Swamp Thing, Volume 2. It's gotten pretty crazy. I don't know if I want to get into shit like that though, like the plot of it or anything. In case you haven't read it, God damn it though, I just can't help but praise those books enough because of the writing and the art. It's all done in such a non-conventional way. It's like all the art will bleed into other panels, and then like the way Alan Moore is describing what's happening, and then it goes into something else. You just have to see it. It's like if you read Watchmen or something, it's nothing like that. It's totally different.
Yeah, it's somehow. I was trying to explain to someone why Swamp Thing was such a compelling read one time. I can't remember if it's in the first trade paperback or the second trade paperback, but like the main part of the story deals with existentialism directly. That's like the plot. And it would sound like what? A comic book about existentialism? But they do it in like a clever comic booky way, and it's super fun. And it's so well written. It's very good.
Yeah, check it out though, for real. If you've never read Alan Moore's run Swamp Thing, just go find the first volume. They're usually pretty cheap. DC sells trades like cheaper than what Marvel does. Probably $16.99 or less if you can find it.
Do you hate those type of people that go, well, like Alan Moore and like, the Watchmen, it has to be like that too, right? Like when they compare, like also directors as well. Like,
I don't know. That doesn't tend to really get on my nerves that much. That's going to be like very situational for me.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's got to have a point of reference. Like if you're trying to tell someone to watch Inception and they're like, is it like the Dark Knight trilogy? And that's the only thing they've ever seen. It's kind of like, well, I understand where you're coming from,
but no.
I mean, tonally, sort of, but no.
Yeah.
By the way, I hate people that go, when I say, hey, did you see Christopher Nolan movie? And they're like, yeah, I see all the Batman movies. I'm like, he did more than just Batman, right?
No.
It's that grinds my gears so bad.
I guess a lot of people will know that, Alan Moore did Watchmen. And then to me, it goes Watchmen, probably League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Then maybe Killing Joke, then maybe Swamp Thing, and then whatever other stuff that he did, because he's done a lot of work in other things. But
yeah,
that's it. I haven't really been watching anything.
Yeah, wrestling's still stupid. I only saw a clip of Heath Slater coming back and challenging Drew McIntyre, and like he slapped him in the face, like
Yeah.
like it was going somewhere, and then it ended up like, oh, we're buddies again. I'm just like, why did you do that? I would rather. It wouldn't be a big like, oh my god, it's Heath Ledger versus Drew McIntyre in a pay per view, but like,
Did you say Heath Ledger?
or Heath Heath Slater.
I don't think he's gonna make it to a pay per view.
I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. WWE always starts off like good, but then it just like right away, just like, I don't give a shit anymore. Cringe.
He cut good promo. It's just I got to question like why they did this the way that they did, unless it was just like a work or something, kind of like the Drake Maverick thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of that because he's like, I got released back in what was that, March, like with all those other people, and then he comes back and he cuts this really good promo, and I guess he had a match. I didn't watch the match. I don't know if he got squashed or whatever.
They fought in jeans. That's all you need to know.
Because it was a street fight, brother. It was a fight between men.
Yeah. But anyway, back to like interesting stuff, because wrestling's not interesting lately. I guess we'll talk about You Only Live Twice. There's some controversial things in this movie that wouldn't be done today, I don't think. It wasn't as bad as a womanizer like the last movie. Do you guys agree with me with that? Do you think he was
as bad as what?
He wasn't womanized, like he wasn't over like sexualizing the girls in this movie compared to the last movie. I mean, I mean, there were always like the parts where he's like, remember when he had to act like he was a husband, and he's like, let's fuck. I'm paraphrasing him pretty much. And she's like, no, this is strictly business and all that stuff. It's like Japanese women have more honor than like American and English girls. Which is, even though she does fall for him anyway, but I digress on that.
And she experienced his excellent swimming skills and all this other stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this right off the bat. I did not enjoy this movie.
Really?
Yeah. I was bored pretty much from beginning to start. I mean, beginning to end.
So you were bored right when the movie started. You was like, I'm done.
One, I don't know. It's just, I like the whole setting in Japan. I guess the only thing I actually liked is seeing Peter, The Rock's granddad, like
High
fight.
Chief Peter Maivia.
There you go.
Who was he? Was he the guy he fights in the office?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys said that in the chat, and I was trying to think who would that have been?
Because it's funny, because the part where I almost said The Rock, but when James Bond almost gets assassinated by like that COVID Asian guy because he's wearing like a mask, I thought that was hilarious. And when I mean COVID, I mean the mask. I'm not being like fuck China.
He's wearing a surgical mask in Japan. That's like an actually like really common thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, people in subways would wear it and stuff.
Yeah, if you're sick, as a courtesy, you wear a mask.
Yeah, but he was assassinating somebody. I guess.
Yeah, but that makes it. It's the equivalency of someone wearing like what's the word I'm looking for? A handkerchief in the West or something. Like handkerchiefs are everywhere, so of course you can use it to cover your face. People just have them on. So it's something inconspicuous, because if you saw that guy going down the street, you wouldn't be like, he's going to kill someone. You'd be like, he's sick.
Yeah. But when I saw that big Samoan in that like tiny car, I was like, that has to be a wrestler. And I had to research it, and I was like, holy shit, that's The Rock's granddad that we always hear about when WWE plays it like 1,000 times.
Yeah, and when you watch the fight scene, it's just him because he's a freaking wrestler, so he's like bumping for like the whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
There was a lot of things that kind of annoyed me in the movie, like the part where when he gets into the car, like the whole time, come on, dude, you didn't know that was James Bond or somebody different than your friend that you brought to go kill somebody?
I believed it up until the fact that he had to carry him upstairs. That was the part where it's like, okay, now you've got it now. Yeah, though, here's another consideration. they might have just met. Like maybe it's someone he doesn't normally work with. Maybe they're like, we need you to drive this guy to go do something, and maybe they didn't tell him. Maybe it's like in Reservoir Dogs, they all meet for the first time when they're having breakfast, and they're all given names: Mr. Pink, Mr. White, Mr. Yellow, Mr. Blue. So maybe it was like that. Just giving the movie a benefit of a doubt here.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt the story was stale. I think Spectre. I think Austin Powers kind of ruined it for me with Spectre, because like all I could think of is Doctor Evil, with the seeing him, and the base, the whole concept of them like launching this like space rocket, and like actually no, like I guess I kind of get it. It's probably the times that the special effects are kind of lacking, in my opinion, in this movie. I feel like every time they go to Spectre, it's like cheesy stuff, but like when Spectre's not in it, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, this movie is it's really starting to come down with what would plague the Bond franchise for like a decade or something going forward. And there's a few gasps left of like really good solid spy shit. But more and more audiences are trying to indicate that they like the hammy like big action stunts and the gadgets and Bond getting out of impossible situations and doing kooky stuff, more humor, and they just like the larger than life presence that is Spectre and Blofeld and stuff like that. And it's a shame because it gets away from what I like. I like the nitty gritty spy stuff. I like Bond to be in a little more, I don't know the right word, like more of an asshole, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
But more and more, we're going to see that going for. I mean, we only got a couple more movies to watch, but if you watch the rest of the Bond movies, you'll see that, and it comes to a peak in the Roger Moore era, which is why I'm always so harsh on the Roger Moore era.
Zach, what about you? What's your opinions on the movie?
I like this movie actually. I thought it was pretty good.
What do you like about it?
I like the set. I like the setting of it, like how it was all Japan stuff for starters. It was kind of a breath of fresh air, really.
Yeah, we didn't have to go back to the Caribbean again.
Yeah, no Caribbean or island places, and no Europe and no Russia. I know Goldfinger was in America primarily, but yeah. I thought it was funny though, just coming off Thunderball, like the intro has to do with like a bunch of like nautical shit again.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's more scuba stuff and everything, and then it's like, oh, okay, that's over now. They did like a weird. They just wanted to do like this intro where it's like, oh, he's not going to the office this time. It's an office in a submarine.
Yeah, that's so weird. He's got like M's got an office in the submarine.
I was like, what the hell? I did like the intro.
He brings Moneypenny with him, of course. It's silly.
They killed him. It's like the intro was kind of crazy. It's like, oh fuck, is he dead? It's like, no, he's just. And then he gets up and they recover and put him in the sub, and he's like, permission to come aboard. I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Okay, so, sorry to interrupt you, Zach, but that part where in the beginning, explain it to me. That was planned out, right? They made it look like he died just so that Spectre wouldn't get on him, right?
Yeah, as he get the heat off of him, I guess.
Remember, Bernard Lee says that is now maybe your enemies will stop looking for you so hard or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of like when he started doing his investigation in Japan too. That the beginning part to me was pretty cool. He's doing like that corporate espionage jazz, and he was like talking to like other people and stuff. And when he encountered Aki, and then like it was kind of like oh hell, what's the word I'm looking for? It was a bit ambiguous, like whether or not she was with him or not for a little bit there.
Yeah. I like her character all throughout the movie. Aki's one of the best parts of this movie, I thought.
Plus she drives that sweet car.
That car is so cool. Every time I watch this movie, I look that car up because I'm like, oh, what is that again? And then it's like an uber expensive, uber rare, only really sold in Japan car. And I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'd never afford a car like that anyway, but it's just, it's even more elusive because it's not even.
Did you like the product placement of Sony in that little TV in the tiny in the car?
Yeah.
It's like, this is Sony, and you could talk into this machine and stuff. What did you think of the helicopter scene?
I thought that was
car in the water.
yeah.
That's
okay. I thought you meant when he was in the little helicopter.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that one. That's the one I'm talking about.
I was thinking about the magnetic thing. Okay.
That was funny too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little helicopter deal. I was like, is that like actually a thing that works? And I looked it up. I'm like, it is. Okay, so it wasn't bullshit. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that seems really interesting too, because we're used to seeing helicopters like all the time, but helicopters in 1967 were still like kind of new.
Yeah,
like,
they're still pretty new.
People had seen MASH, I think, so they were like they knew what a helicopter was, but there wasn't like this kind of stuff going on.
I just love that he got that helicopter, like, you know, he's being taught all the like every weapon on that fucking thing, and he used all those weapons on that helicopter in that one scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god. It's not that I'm hating on it. I'm just like, wow, how convenient. He just got this helicopter to take out these helicopters, and that's it.
I thought that was a cool scene though. It's like a helicopter battle.
Mhm.
Shake things up a bit.
I don't think I've ever seen a movie where there was a helicopter battle.
Okay, let's talk about probably the controversial part of the movie where I don't think would happen today because of how people are offended by what character is playing what character is when they have to turn James Bond into a Japanese person.
It didn't like really do anything. They kind of gave him like a toupee.
Yeah, you see that if it looked better, it would be a little bit more forgivable. But man, it looks bad.
It didn't even look like they did anything. I'm wondering if they didn't have like more prosthetics, and then Sean Connery was just like, "No, I'm not doing it." Like he just.
It seems like something he would do, doesn't it?
Yeah, like I'm not wearing this shit because he's like maybe he's allergic to. Was spirit gum a thing back then? Was that invented yet?
I don't know. I know a little bit about special effects, but only like from the 80s on. I don't know about back then.
Yeah, I don't know. Like if he had an allergy or if he was just being like, just like, no, I refuse to wear this bullshit. Just say I'm Japanese.
Yeah, in that scene, they like show like they're putting like a prosthesis over his eye and they're doing some other stuff. And then in the next scene, it's just like he's wearing that dopey looking hairpiece. And that's like it. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that was you could have just given him a haircut.
Well, here's what's really bothered me. The tiger guy, I don't know his name, but he's like
Tiger Tanaka, brother.
My other favorite part of this movie.
Yeah, that guy is awesome.
He's like,
he's great.
You Englishmen, you guys love your fur on your like chest, and like Japanese, it's smooth or something like that. When they were turning Japanese, I really think so.
Think so.
When James Bond was being transformed, like I was thinking they were gonna like wax his chest hair. They didn't even do that.
He can wear a shirt.
No, he's like, you're not waxing my damn chest. Leave it alone. I'm not wearing this shit either. Just say I'm Japanese. That's totally what happened.
Do it with CG. I don't know what that is yet.
I don't even know what that means. Do you think if they would have at least give him a pair of glasses or something, that would have helped?
That would have made it more racist, I think.
I was thinking about that
they
too,
like
honestly.
good bottle glasses or something. Give me buck teeth or something.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
Okay, yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I guess not.
Mm.
I don't know what else they could have done. That would have been it to me.
It happens in the book. They do that in the book as well. They need to make him look Japanese, but of course it's in text. So they're like, oh, they used super sophisticated science and they did all this surgery and stuff. But in the movie, you can't. They should have just written it out. They should have written that out.
But here's the thing. Why? I mean, there was nothing besides going to that lady's parents' home for like a scene. There was no Spectre agent in that town to like spy on them besides the volcano base.
But they didn't know that. They don't like they are looking for the bad guys. And what if the bad guys are looking for them or see them first, or he gets caught or gets spotted? He's on a security camera or anything. Anything could have happened. They need to keep the illusion that Bond is dead. That helps them.
Why not just, I guess for movie's sake, Hollywood, like why not just have James Bond in their little ninja camp that they fucking had? And then when they say, "Oh, we found a volcano base," and then James Bond comes and wrecks havoc. I feel
In
like,
fact, too, in their little ninja base, that one guy breaks in and tries to stab him.
oh yeah,
So obviously they had been infiltrated by the bad guy, and if he's just walking around as James Bond, that guy reports back, "Oh, fucking James Bond is over here," and now Blofeld knows, all Spectre knows. No, we can't have that.
I laughed a little bit when he killed that infiltrator in the base because I was like, "Oh shit, did he kill somebody by accident?" Because he came up, he's like, "You killed him," and he's like, "Well, he tried to kill me."
And he says it like so assured. He's like, "This is fine. I kill people all the time."
And this is pretty much when Aki got killed, right?
It was a little bit before that scene, I think. No, it might have been after.
Yeah, because like Aki dies, and Bond has feelings for her, kind of. I guess maybe I don't know.
I mean, it seems pretty clear. Yeah, I thought he did.
And like the next part, the next scene, he's not showing any anger. He kills that Spectre agent. He's like, "Oh, I killed her. Okay, he's dead. That's it." And then he moves on to the next Asian girl. I guess that's James Bond.
How many times do you think that's happened to him at this point?
Probably a lot.
I mean, there's true.
Yeah.
So, just saying.
Mm-hmm.
He'd have to be jaded by this point, even more so if the movies were coming in the correct order. But in fact, I was reading a little bit about it. On Her Majesty's Secret Service was supposed to come next, but they shot this one first because it required a bunch of location scouting. And of course, if Zach, if you're sick of the Caribbean, just like I am at this point, if you watch them in order, which I kind of urge you to take a little time out of your day and watch 2 movies this coming week. It takes place mostly in the Alps, so that's another complete out of left field location.
You want to do a double feature for that one too, since it's like we can't put the Lazenby.
What's your favorite Lazenby movie? Oh, okay. Well,
we're doing the Lazenby month. Oh, there's just one.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we could just kind of crowbar it in, I guess.
I mean, I'd be down because it's one of my favorites. It's really good.
Let's do it.
All right, Lazenby. You got to give me.
That's good. Now we don't have to watch them out of order.
Yeah, we could do that, and then the Diamonds Are Forever. We'll do that.
So we're going to be doing Lazenby's movie and Diamonds Are Forever next week?
Yeah, unless you want to split them up. I don't know if you want to spend more time on Bond necessarily, though. It's up to you guys. It's just I'm always down to watch On Her Majesty's Secret Service because I do like You Only Live Twice, but I think it's my least favorite Connery movie. Pretty sure it is.
Do you think if Connery was in that movie instead of Lazenby, it would have been better?
I don't know. I really don't. I've thought about it before, and possibly, but I really wish Lazenby had got if you think about Connery in Dr. No, he's good, but he's not the best yet.
Yeah.
And the same thing happens to a lot of the other Bonds. Like some of them, like Pierce Brosnan, hit it right away. But some of the other Bonds, like the second or third movie, they're even more Bondy. They kind of figure out their Bond. And Lazenby never got to do that.
Yeah.
It's always been a huge shame. Lazenby's agent or someone's agent. There's 6 conflicting stories about why he's not in it. But I guess the most popular version of it is his agent was like, "Look, you need to start doing hip kids films, man. Fucking kids don't want to see no James Bond anymore. It's all about motorcycle movies and inner city violence movies. Yeah, you should pass on the next Bond movie." So he did. We'll talk about that more next week, though.
Yeah, let's do a double feature. Let's do 2 movies next week. Get it out of the way. I'm trying to think what else. The end.
I want to talk a little bit about the people who are in this movie. You guys already brought up the fact that the Rock's granddad is in it. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's right.
That's super interesting. But the guy who plays Tiger, I kept thinking I know I've seen him in something. He's one of the 3 titular outlaw samurai in the movie Outlaw Samurai. The movie is fantastic. It's part of the Criterion Collection, and it's kind of a standalone samurai action movie. But it is extremely good, and he's in that. And when I saw that for the first time a few years ago, I kept thinking I know I've seen him in something, but I think I kept thinking, oh, he's an extra in Yojimbo, or he's an extra in Seven Samurai or something, and I'm just not realizing it. No, he was in this. Oh, that's so cool. Also, the fucking screenwriter of this movie is I don't know how to pronounce his first name, Roald Dahl. the guy who wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory
What?
and Fantastic Mr. Fox
Huh.
and Matilda and all that stuff. Like the children's author, he wrote the screenplay for this movie. Isn't that bizarre? I saw it in the
That's pretty
opening
weird.
credits. I was like, wait, is it the same Roald Dahl I'm thinking of? And looked it up. Yeah, it's him.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I guess he helped with the screenplay on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I think, but didn't like do it. He just like gave some input. But this is the time when he actually was like, I'm gonna write this whole screenplay. And I guess he did a good job as far as like, I mean, it's a competent movie. It's just weird and interesting that it was him of all people. Oh, he also wrote James and the Giant Peach. I was trying to think of the other one.
The whole piranhas and the little thing was funny, I think.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
I was kind of shocked that girl. What was her name? Oh man,
11.
Yeah, they called her 11, but she had a name too. It was something Brant. It's like, oh, they just dumped her in there. She's dead. It kind of like looked like they were positioning her as a
Helga Brandt.
Yeah, Helga Brandt. Like maybe she was going to do another thing and then get killed later. I thought, yep, she's out.
Nope, dead.
They killed the sexy German lady
Why is my camera like just focus?
because it's hard to focus on you.
God damn it! Damn it! The ending fight scene, I guess, with the not with Blofeld, but the other big guy, where they're fighting near the piranha thing. What do you think of that fight? You thought it's just the staple Bond has to fight this big guy kind of? Because I thought like Peter Maivia was like the big guy that he was going to fight in the movie, but he ended up beating him.
Well, I think the Maivia guy, he's like the henchman to the business guy, but Blofeld's got to have his own henchman that Bond's got to fight, right? Like
He's got to have his own muscle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a bit quick for a muscle fight.
Yeah.
And then, like, they didn't really build that guy up. He's just like a big, tall German guy, I guess. It's just what I thought looking at him. Like, okay. Then he didn't show him fucking anybody up or anything. He was just imposing.
But I just like the part where James Bond uses the cigarette bullet thing.
Those are fucking cool.
Yeah, that is bad.
Yeah.
I mean, like, good bad. It's bad, man.
But when he kills the guy that opens up the fucking capsule in the volcano, I just like the part where Blofeld like, whatever, we're still gonna be winning. We're still gonna do our purpose. And then like James Bond comes in and says, no, well, I just fucking ruined your plan. And then he runs away.
What do you guys think of Donald Pleasance?
I couldn't believe that was Donald Pleasance, honestly. I was like, is that him? Like, when I saw him playing him, I was like, what the fuck?
That's Dr. Loomis.
Wait, the guy from Halloween?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He's Blofeld.
Oh wow, that just wow. Holy shit.
Did that Blofeld your mind?
Yeah, hell yeah, it did.
He didn't even get to shoot Bond 6 times, man.
Give
he was
him
going to
time.
shoot him. And
He comes back.
Yeah.
Blofeld ain't done.
Yeah, I figure. Man, this is the first time I've actually seen Blofeld. And it's like Dubs was saying, like, I was like, oh my God, it pretty much is Dr. Evil. Like, it just,
when you see